Huh? I still haven't explained this yet. Looks like it's my turn to make one of these I'm done videos. Honestly, after KICKVIC last summer, I was hoping people would forget memory ever existed in this community. But with a voice like mine, and we're in this hat for 2 years, I guess I won't be so easily forgotten. And plus I know nothing good comes from running away. None of the people I look up to do it. Vic didn't do it. I most certainly won't. So with that said, I can't stay in this Pokeball forever. Yo, what's up guys, Murray here. Just like last year, it's been a while since I said that. So in this video, I'm going to answer the biggest question that people ask me on my channel. Am I still a reactor? The answer is yes. If I come across something I find interesting or if Freelance Amber gives me a request, I'll look into it. But more specifically, in getting to the heart of the video, I'm no longer a RoosterTeeth reactor. I held off on posting this video last year because I really didn't want to give up Camp. And also, I know from experience that people who don't like me would just yet again signal boost my video or tweet for all the drama-hungry hellraisers to go online and try to silence me because of something I said they don't agree with. But after spending all these months making BB Tag movies with Noelle and the Ruby Girls, rereading the love you guys gave me in my time reacting, and just spending quality time with Freelance Amber and Hero, I feel like I'll be able to do this video properly now. I'm happy, calm, and most importantly, I'm not scared. Whether you like me, hate me, agree with me, disagree with me, want to hug me, or want to fight me, it's not going to change my opinion or make me regret what I'm about to say. I know what I'm about. I don't make videos for money or clout. What would I need the extra money for? I'm a carpenter and I only take care of me, so I'm straight. Plus, what would I even need the clout for? My core audience comes from RoosterTeeth, so why would I even want attention from the very people I don't support? I became Memory thanks to these two, and only had 2 goals in mind. I started this channel just because I wanted to have fun. I'm pretty much doing this for fun and to make some friends too.
Why else would you lead an honest life if you're not gonna get anything for it?
I don't want anything special from this YouTube life. I'm just here to have fun. As history would have it, I got exactly what I wanted. Not only did I get recognized by the people I looked up to, but I got to befriend them, collab with them, and even found ways on how I relate to them. So to anyone that has any plans of being an online supporter, or if you already are an online supporter for RoosterTeeth and just want to hear why I left, this isn't a video to give you a reason to hate RoosterTeeth. This video is to help you understand why you're supporting RoosterTeeth. What kind of RoosterTeeth supporter are you? A casual? Those fans that only see RoosterTeeth as just a source of entertainment? Are you an analyst? One of those fans that dissect and pick apart all the good and bad RoosterTeeth's content? Are you a superfan? One of those fans that watches RoosterTeeth religiously and even knows a few of the people that are behind the creation of said content? Are you a fanatic? Those fans that worship RoosterTeeth, sees all the good and none of the bad, will defend anything that they do and even attack others who go against their views? Comment below and tell me which one you are. All of us in the community has, or at least had, a reason. So allow me to share you my reasons for why I supported RoosterTeeth, and also 5 reasons on why I stopped doing the thing that you guys love seeing me do. React. So like I've been saying for the past 2 years on camera, let's get started. Reason number 5. Ruby. Now to anyone that discovered me through this video where I made my top 10 favorite Ruby reactors video knows that the only thing I cared about when it came to this show was just the action, and there was a reason for that. Because the story is so confusing, man. Like, I don't even understand what I'm watching half the time. There's times where it's not consistent, there's times where you're stuck trying to figure out how aura works, other times it's straight up boring or just not entertaining. Question for the Ruby fans that discovered this show through a recommendation. Before watching the series, what was the first thing you were told to do? Watch the fucking trailers. Ruby was and will always be remembered for the fight animations. What fan that exists today saw this in the beginning and went, "This show looks like it has an interesting story, I gotta see this"? No. People were either like, or my reason was different. I just wanted Ruby Rose to match up to Maka Albarn. Of course, there's a ton of girls in anime that are side familiars, but Maka Albarn is definitely still one of the most iconic ones to date. And all of us longtime Montium fans knew that he loved the series. The perfect example of this is Montium's fight animation series Dead Fantasy, where he animated the girls of DOA and Final Fantasy to fight each other. In episode 3, with Tifa vs Hitomi, Monty recreated Blackstar's finishing move. Then after RoosterTeeth hires him, he recreated Solier's plot.
Female main character who fights with a scythe that transforms, has a special power passed down from her mother, attends an academy led by a powerful being that created the schools to train warriors to defend the world.
I could go on, but yeah, Ruby is a reimagined Soul Eater. You could agree or disagree, it makes me no difference. Now back to my point on why Ruby Rose is the reason why I quit reacting. Ruby Rose is no longer a good guy. Sure, she's the protagonist of the story, yeah, but the decisions she makes her look like a villain.
She steals from authority, she occasionally uses violence against law enforcement, literally has 2 felonies on her record. She lies all the time, so she's not trustworthy in my book, literally lying to superiors about important information on more than one occasion. And whenever her teammates are about to or actually attack people who can't or wouldn't fight back, she doesn't do anything. She just sits there, doesn't get involved, and just lets them do their own thing.
Okay, first of all, I said her teammates. I don't count John because he's already a leader of his own team. Ruby isn't responsible for him.
Plus, all she did was yell his name. She didn't say stop. She tried that earlier and it didn't work because he was still pissed off and did this. Blake tries this later, following her leader's lead, God only knows why, and almost gets penetrated by Adam.
Ladies, here's some advice. If you want to calm down a pissed off grown fucking man, you make him calm down. If you're a female and you're either my friend or you're dating me, don't shout my fucking name. To be quite honest with you, that's just more fuel for me to be angrier because all that indicates to me is that you're not on my side. If you're gonna arouse my anger, don't half-ass your attempt.
You either bitch slap the man out of me or force me away from whatever's pissing me off. Don't act like a brat that's angry because they're not getting their way, because all me and everyone around you is gonna do is just look at you like,
Case in point, the girls in Team Ruby are homies. They're loyal to each other.
They would commit multiple crimes if it meant doing it for the greater good.
But Maka didn't need to do any of that. Maka didn't need to break the rules to do her job. She didn't need to raise her hand to authority just so that she can get shit done.
Maka Albarn took her ass whoopings like a champ, whether it was from her teammates or her teachers, did the training necessary to be a strong Scythemeister like her mother was, and in the end of the anime, saved everyone with the power of bravery.
In that respect, to me, Ruby is a disappointment.
Ruby wanted to be a hero just like the ones in the storybooks, only to end up being the very person she doesn't trust for the same reasons I don't like her for. Lying, attacking people who don't support her views, all for the greater good. I don't know what hero comics Ruby reads, but I do know this. The heroes I look up to don't need to resort to Ruby's methods to get results. When it comes to being a good example of heroism, she'll never compare to Maka in my opinion. Reason number 4. RoosterTeeth's management. If you didn't like me before clicking on this video, or you're just here to dismiss everything I'm about to say because you're a stan, you're about to hate me with a passion now. Because everything I'm about to tell you is the truth. And if you think that at any point in this video that I have lied or made something up, I implore you to please fact check me. Because the second you go on my comment section or on Twitter to slander me or anyone that I'm associated with in the face of facts, out of pure spite because you're unable to refute me and you would rather just be rude and uncivilized, because drama is all you live for, we've won.
Now, I did erase a lot of what I wrote in the script because I wanted to make sure that before I start criticizing people, I don't know, from a hole in the wall, that I make sure I give them a fair review on whatever role that they have in the community. I don't just shoot my mouth off without thinking that there won't be any sort of outrage from it. That sounds like something a punk would do.
Yeah, and I'm looking at you, nameless person, who started all this back in April. All you extremely rude, broke fucks that can't afford $6 to see a first member video and would rather take it out on freelancer Amber. All you guys over on the KICKVIC side that keep telling us to stop covering the Vic Mignogna situation, which actually brings hate to the voice actresses, when then again, they're the ones that told us about the whole situation from the jump and even instigated the attacks on Vic.
Reviews like this need to have structure. Now, the reason I'm cutting Mr. Holmes some slack is because of the duration of me being a reactor.
I started reacting in 2017. Fullscreen already bought out RoosterTeeth in 2014. So before and after Matt stepped down as CEO, Fullscreen has already been in charge of RoosterTeeth since the whole duration of my reaction journey.
I'm pointing this out because I feel like that's something that someone's gonna bring up as an argument in my comment section or maybe even on Twitter.
Yeah, he was the CEO, but Warner Media has him and RoosterTeeth under contract. You're just a reactor that gives them revenue. You're no RoosterTeeth representative. What would you know about what Matt is or isn't allowed to say online?
Let me get this straight. Barbara can tell us fans if we don't like watching a show, no one's forcing you to, but Matt Hullum can give us a solid reason on why they let go of Vic. They let their VAs act like bigots online and they'll give a public statement on Vic, but they couldn't give us a public statement on their vice president beating his wife?
You know, it's one thing to fire a man over allegations. It's another thing when you get your buddies to promote a smear campaign against him. Another is when you don't keep it real with your fans about your vice president getting fired, and then having them find out from a different source 5 days later after news gets out. And now all of a sudden you want to be a white knight because people are calling you and your friends out on your hypocrisy?
And you guys wonder why you get the criticism you get. Whether consciously or subconsciously, you're teaching your fans how to be spiteful and intolerant to anything that contradicts your views. Don't believe me? Oh, what's a good example of your spiteful intolerance teachings for your fandom? Eruption, Fang, Fatal AK, and even my boy Hero Hay is banned from Reddit.
And yes, I'm aware of Floof tagging Barb, Aaron, Miles, and Carrie into this meme, which at first glance looks like a sick joke target on the Bumblebee shippers. But then 7 months go by and the same fandom makes this, and everyone, including Miles, is on board. Publicly firing Vic over allegations, but you keep quiet about your vice president manhandling women and shaming a meme when it falls under the same messed up category you guys support? Here's a classic one, and nobody can refute this. Even the people who don't like me that are watching this video right now can back me up on this one. Any Ruby reviewer that says one thing that isn't positive about RoosterTeeth online, this fandom will riot. Hate mail, death threats, you name it. Even shippers want to see you guys 6 feet under after what happened to Clover in Volume 7. Disgusting shit like this is why so many people believed in the story of the girl named Chloe who killed herself over ships in the Ruby fandom. Because this fandom has batshit crazy people like this person who contemplate taking lives over fictional pairing.
Are these not examples of your spiteful intolerance? Look, if you're not going to take responsibility for the actions of your fandom and just making jokes all day on Twitter, don't get mad when we criticize you guys for not giving us info we deserve to know. But it's funny because this stuff that I just mentioned barely scratches the surface on why I stopped reacting. You want to hear the real reason? I stopped reacting once I found out about the layoffs.
This was the arrow that pierced the maiden's back.
Yo, I have a question, and this is for everybody that has to work 1 or 2 jobs just to take home only enough money to be broke.
How would you feel working a job for 3+ years with promises of more hours, ignored by management when there's an existing problem not getting fixed until shit hits the fan, then you're laid off for all that crunch, all that overtime, and you're not getting paid for it?
What animator will want to apply to RoosterTeeth after hearing some shit like that? People who legit work 30 to 80 hours a week just to only make enough money for their phone bill, their rent, car insurance, and a sandwich to eat on their lunch break while they're watching their coworkers eating good food daily knows that struggle. Matt.
You told us that RoosterTeeth laid off 13% of the staff, but conveniently left out the March round of layoffs. The layoffs that you or Jordan Levin have yet to confirm or deny to my knowledge. If the insider from your company that Clownfish TV interviewed was actually lying, now would be a good time to speak up about that. Until you or Jordan confirm or deny this, I'm deeming it as fact since you guys like to listen to hearsay.
I swear, this guessing game you guys at RoosterTeeth play isn't fun for us fans.
Us reactors didn't like this game when you went site only because Amber and Murder fell victim to it, and the rest of us had to figure it out. I'll never forget that day when Lorelei Lee hit all of us up on Twitter to figure out what we should do. That was the first time we ever had to really consult with the content users guidelines on your website to figure out what to do next. So in an attempt to keep any more people like this guy in this fandom from raging at Freelance Amber and Murder, since this fandom is widely known for us screeching at each other, whether it being in pure rage or in pure ignorance, I broke down the whole content users guidelines page into this 19-minute video that was easy to dissect and fun to watch if you're interested in looking. But I had to break down your entire rule set in order for people to shut up. The LGBT community didn't like this guessing game regarding Crow and Clover. If I have to go over that again with you as to why they freaked out about that.
And I'm not reacting to a company that has trust issues with their fans that they're making revenue off of that they didn't need to ask us to promote and financially support them in first memberships. Seriously, like fuck, like sometimes I feel like you guys just don't know how blessed you are.
You have fans that will forgive anything that you do, forget all the people that you shat on, and praise you for hard work from people we only see in the credits that you not only did not pay, but fired because of a problem your management caused, and covered up. Reason number 3. Live through this!
Hold up! Yay!
I'm gonna make this section brief. There's many parts of this community that I could talk about, but I'm gonna just focus on just the one small section of people that no one really addresses. The people that say shit like, shippers ruined RoosterTeeth content.
Are you serious? Are you? I actually am. Oh, okay.
I feel like people who say shit like this met like one crazy enabler shipper online and was probably like,
Listen to me when I say that not all shippers are batshit crazy obsessed.
and even if you do run into an overly passionate one, you can't really blame them at this point. In fact, you should feel bad for them. Indulge me. Even though the fandom is the one that created the ship, who's the one that is currently pushing this agenda a lot more than the people who created it? The creators of the show that it's based off of. Honestly, whenever I see a shipper online that is passionately talking about how much they care about this ship, I really feel bad for them. And not in the sense where it's like, oh my god, they care about two fictional characters getting together, they must have no life. No, not in that sense. I feel bad for them because their passion for this show is being used in the form of business. Bumblebee is definitely a business ploy for Rooster Teeth. And no, I'm not just outing Rooster Teeth, many corporations use this move. Whenever the fandom sees two characters that they really want together, corporations will use strategies to profit off of that demographic. I feel so bad for the shippers to the point where it looks like Rooster Teeth is literally dangling their ship in front of their face like, it can happen just as long as you support us. I mean, that's how I see it. Because at this point, Rooster Teeth has no choice. Because shippers literally have to go online and show their support for this ship in order for Rooster Teeth to make it happen, because Rooster Teeth is the only one that can make their dreams come true in this aspect. So Rooster Teeth, Bumblebee, get on it. Subtlety, be damned. Because if it doesn't happen before the series is over, you can kiss your fandom goodbye. Then they can really say you're queer baiting. Reason number 2. The voice of Quartermaster.
The voice actor of Ruby's Osmond as well as Camp Camp's Quartermaster, Shannon McCormick, is without a doubt the most unprofessional voice actor to ever come from Rooster Teeth. Fucking ironic that the only show that I enjoy watching from Rooster Teeth, a VA from my favorite show, ends up being more gross than the character that he voices.
I really don't get these companies where they let their VAs run their mouth on social media to their potential consumers like they're untouchable and without fear of unemployment. How would you feel if you went out to go get lunch or something and every single person that waited on you treated you like shit? That's what you VAs do. You're disrespectful to your consumers. You don't know how to take a negative review and better yourself. All you see it is just an attack. I mentioned in the past that several personalities at Rooster Teeth went full Team KICKVIC when the news broke out, but Shannon out here puffing his chest out like he getting ready to dox and ruin lives. Threatening people, body shaming, and name calling on social media?
Deja vu, eh, community? It's all coming together now.
The way he acts online resembles a lot of what I had to put up with last summer. My buddy Hirohei is out here spreading news, nothing but the truth, and trust me, I fact check him every time when he posts, and then I see Shannon McCormick calling him Lord Weasel Feces? I mean, I'll admit it's a great level insult, but damn how immature this man is. And why is this dude here praising him for it? This dude is pushing 50, that shit ain't cute.
But it's just very bizarre to me that I make all the positive content in the world, dude could care less, and then I start going against the flow of the narrative that him and his associates are trying to, you know, sway the public opinion towards, and then suddenly the guy talks about me, he knows who I am suddenly, and has some very opinionated statements to make about it. Like, what the heck?
Now I challenge anyone in the community, anyone in Rooster Teeth that has spent a significant amount of time with Shannon McCormick to tell me that this man is a humble or professional individual. Cause if he is, then this is not the way to convey it. The only thing good that I've seen of Shannon McCormick is his voice work. If you're only good at your job and terrible with social skills, you're no one I want to support. Now for the number one reason why I no longer support Rooster Teeth. The number one reason why you guys will never see me finish Camp Camp. The number one reason why I no longer give a fuck about how people view my opinion as long as I'm telling the truth.
So what do you think about this whole situation? You made your first video on this situation, what, less than a week ago?
It was only 4 days ago.
Only 4 days ago, wow.
Yeah, it was only 4 days ago, yeah.
So what do you think about the situation? Why did you not get involved right away?
I wanted to know more about it. And just like you and thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people are calling bullshit on this. Because they're lying. Like, you don't lie on like on a social platform and thinking that, you know, people like you and me won't pick up on the bullshit.
Oh yeah,
so, like,
that's for damn sure.
Anime News Network released an article about Vic Mignogna where fans were alleging that they had uncomfortable experiences with him at conventions.
People are talking about, oh, he gave me a kiss on the cheek or he hugged me too tight. And then 10 years pass, wake up one morning like, you know what? I was sexually assaulted. That's not how that works, player.
People are fabricating stuff on him, not just Anime News Network, Facebook groups, where they're actively trying to Photoshop pictures.
She got it mixed up with Vic and Elad, Monica Real's ex-boyfriend.
The reality that Vic is living in currently is fake. I can see why he's on antidepressants. I can see why he's on blood pressure pills. Can you believe that?
I hope none of you ever have to learn that people in your life you think are your friends are actually lying backstabbers who never liked you much to begin with.
Why did you fire a man on allegations alone, made up lies, instigated fights online, then want to cry wolf when we bite back? You want to heal the anime community so bad? Then do everyone a favor with these lies you spout online all the time, and just stop!
KICKVIC, a movement backed by a lie made by a Twitter user named Hanlea.
On January 17th, literally the day after the dub release of the Broly movie, this person ats Funimation asking them why did they employ a known pedo. Then on the same day, a Twitter user named MarsGirl creates a hashtag named KICKVIC that Funimation, RoosterTeeth, and many others chose to side with, which triggered all the awful events that occurred in 2019. Fans fighting with each other, voice actors lashing out online, companies trying to silence YouTubers, and Vic is just sitting over here confused as fuck by his coworkers like, where is all this coming from? Monica, you said this to him on Twitter during the Broly premiere. A month later, you're telling everyone he's the legal definition of harassment? Jamie, you said this.
1 week before all of this garbage started last year, I was in the lobby at Funimation, and Jamie walked in, and guess what she said? Hi, hon. How was your Christmas? 1 week.
And now you want to kill him so bad that you publicly admit it? So for 7 months of searching for the truth, since everyone at Funimation kept lying and RoosterTeeth still being vague and playing guessing games, we got the evidence.
Thanks to a Twitter user named Chris188, we finally exposed Hanlea for what she is.
Hanlea's friend Nyako told her that she considered Vic was a pedo because he married a 16-year-old girl to avoid statutory rape charges in 2014, when in reality it was actually another employed Funimation voice actor named Illig Gardolia. Funny thing is, he played Crad in Dean Angel, and Vic was actually dark in that anime as well. So these two have actually met in anime form as enemies. You know, it's funny how the universe works where two anime characters are two sides of the same coin, and then in real life, the two voice actors end up having the same nonsense happen to them. But get this, Monica dated this man, and she admitted to it on Twitter.
Man, where do I even start with this one? Okay, so Monica Rial dated Illig Gardolia, a statutory rapist who was arrested, mind you, then later down the line gets engaged to Rontoye, a woman beater who has a history with 2 divorced wives who each have a protection order against him because he's violent prone, knowing full well that it was Illig that created that crime and not Vic. Monica Rial and everybody in Funimation supported this allegation, and she even tried to pit the crime of her ex-boyfriend on her co-worker. Your taste in men, along with your lies, Monica. Oh my god. Now I understand why RoosterTeeth hired you, fired Vic, and kept quiet about Michael Quinn. RoosterTeeth is Team KICKVIC. RoosterTeeth protects men that beat women, and Funimation lets their female voice actors do whatever the fuck they want.
Don't worry guys, I'm not calling Funimation sexist or anything. Funimation actually allowed Scott Freeman, the voice of Issei from High School DxD, to continue working for a few months after they knew that he was charged of possession of child porn. They waited until after he got convicted to then fire him. So yeah, I can't call him sexist, but I can call them hypocrites for letting Vic go for much less.
It's sad to say, but everything that I just said just now was the truth. This is exactly the reason why I told you guys in my last KICKVIC video to fact check your friends.
I don't care if you knew each other for several years. I don't care if you were childhood friends. I don't care if this person saved your life. Your friend tells you they were sexually harassed, you fact check them.
And don't baby them either.
You calmly but firmly ask them for a time, location, text messages, who was around, what were they wearing, audio, video proof, and demand that their story stays consistent.
And if you ask them the story again after you did your digging and catch even one detail out of place, whether it's in their testimony previously or something that you found currently, you have every right to be skeptical or just call them a liar.
If your body remembers the trauma, your brain will. So no, stuttering and can't remember at this point in time doesn't work on me.
Me? I'm not a loyal person. I only believe in honesty. I would go a whole friendship with you and never lie to you once and always keep it real with you. But I would never stand by you if you chose to be a dick for no reason.
Whether you're friends, dating, or a fan of the person's work, being in an honest environment is actually smarter. Because when something crazy happens, you know how to react to it accordingly. But that loyalty shit with 100% blind faith and never thinking that anything would go wrong? Fuck that. Like I told Hero in that live stream we had last year, I never had a loyalty for RoosterTeeth. I just really enjoyed their content. But now that I've taken a good look at what they're like online, there's no way in hell I'm walking up to Miles and saying thank you. Thank you for bringing joy to my life for the past 2 years with this awesome content. But I can't do it, and I'm not going to force myself to. Gratitude isn't the first thing that comes to mind when a man diminishes the quality of his work because of his skin color. All I feel is disappointment for this company when they can't keep it real with their consumers about what's going on in the company. And if the example you're trying to set for your community that financially supports you, wants to be you, and wants to work for you, is stroking your ego online when someone doesn't agree with you and condoning tortious interference, there's no way I would ever turn my camera on to support the likes of you. You guys jumped the gun before any company, any news outlet, and sided with a woman that has zero evidence of all the claims that she's made, ruined your dub, and decided to side with a movement that has people that are this stupid.
Vic Mignogna, right? Well, I just thought maybe, just maybe, we could all get in a group. And if we see him in public, we just gather up around him and we just beat him up.
Spoken like a true sociopath. So that's the story. Well, I'm no longer a RoosterTeeth reactor. If you're someone that supports RoosterTeeth still, even after watching this video, I have no ill will towards you. Freelance Amber, thank you for everything. You too, Hero. Thank you, Zach Morgan, for the many commissions that I asked you for, and thank you, Missy and AMBZ, for the fan art. I would never blame either of you for this outcome. I mostly blame KICKVIC, but that's just how life is. Sometimes situations like this is the only way to see someone's true nature. But I'm ready to move on with the next portion of my life, regardless of what kind of reviews I get from this video. Whether RoosterTeeth or their loyalists respond to this, I don't mind. I didn't lie, and I have no hate in my heart towards these people. Just disappointment. They'll probably just label this as some hate piece and just move on. So with that said, thank you to all the ISTANDWITHVIC YouTubers who have actually helped make this video possible. To my followers, thank you for sticking by me even after I stopped reacting to Camp Camp, but I think it's time for me to get back to BB Tag. So thank you for watching, have a nice day, and see you later. I know it was just a skit.
No, we can't fire somebody because they're a minority. Why not? We refuse to hire people because they're minorities.
I know they were just joking.
If we fire an employee without a valid reason, we're gonna get sued.
But if they thought this level of comedy was funny 9 years ago...
I can fire Brandon today for no good reason.
No. And then this happens?
And I have all the way until we appear in court to come up with one, yes.
No. I really have to ask myself this question. What kind of people have I been supporting this whole time?